Good evening on a Tuesday night. A pre-hurricane is, I guess, the way we're going to go with tonight.
Yeah.
Welcome to everybody. My name is JW Colwell, host of Loud Nerdy. My co-host, my partners in crime. Good evening, Ken McKernan. My partners in crime, one, Kyle Defina, who is looking a little Frankie tonight, and fire bad, and the amazing Jerry
Hurricane
Kamora.
bad.
Hurricane bad. Yeah, fuck this hurricane. Fuck Uncle Milty and his giant hurricane penis. I'm stuck in Florida. Make me laugh, boy. It's been a shitty day. We'll do our best. I'll do my best to help you
Our
out.
overlord says evening.
Oh, good evening, gentlemen. Good evening, Joe Risley. Thank you for
gracing us with your presence.
Sir.
Sir Scrooge.
Yeah. So I'm stuck in Florida, but again, I'm happy. I'm where I'm supposed to be. I have my nephews, my wife, my aunt, my cousin, her husband. So we're gonna pass through the storm. We're in dead central Florida. So if you look at a map of Florida, you look at the elongated version of Florida, we're dead center. We're right where the eye of the hurricane's going over. So we're about 40 minutes out of Orlando, 40 minutes out of Daytona Beach. But we are very much inland, so we don't have to worry about storm surge. So let's get that out of the way. Other than that, and the fact that I'm going to be missing, stay safe, JW. Thank you, Raven. Other than that, the fact that I'm going to be missing Viking weekend, which is one of my favorite weekends of the year. All the guys get together back home in Pennsylvania, and I can't get a flight out. I was trying to get a flight out tomorrow. I was supposed to leave at 6. That got canceled about a half hour ago. I was supposed to leave on Friday at 6. That got canceled 3 hours ago. So
the
universe is saying no.
Start
JW.
driving now.
So the driving thing. Let's talk about the driving thing for a second because it came up. Because I'm bringing Chris, who's been on the network, who's a good friend, and he's like, "I'll drive." It's 16 hours. I'm like, it's 16 hours, but in reality, with gas, food, tolls, bathroom, 20 hours. Okay? So let's say we leave tomorrow at 6 in the morning. We arrive at about 4 in the morning on Thursday, going into Viking weekend on Friday, where we're not going to get any sleep. And then we immediately have to drive back home on Sunday and do another 20 hours. Just not going to happen. How many Devil Dog boxes do you have? I don't like Devil Dogs. I'm a salty, not a sweet person. I don't like sweets. I like fruit. So we have a lot of fruit.
Salty fruits, huh?
Salty fruits, yeah. Kelly made
Culty.
Kelly made chicken dip, which I'm a huge fan of. So that's exciting. We have a little bit of chicken dip. We have all the staples that we need, and we have stuff to take care of the kids and stuff. Get out. The call is coming from inside the basement. Yes. But that call is inevitably, as Jerry and I both know, usually Kyle being an asshole. So it is what it is.
Oh, somebody's in a poor mood.
I'm in a shitty mood. I'm not in a shitty. Actually, I'm in a great mood because I'm enjoying my week. But my week was going to be much more enjoyable seeing all my friends from college and high school and my cousin who I love more than anything. And now I'm here, and I'm it's where I'm supposed to be. But I'm also doing this. Is Viking weekend a thing or as an event? Like, I like Viking stuff. No, it's a thing. It's a bunch of guys getting together and cooking and eating and drinking and watching movies and sitting by a fire and trying
primal, but not so primal.
Yeah, it's not. It's not anything crazy that you would see on like a weird TV show late at night. But it's
Animal House.
It's nice.
Uncle Ted's
chicken dip is delicious, and it was the right. It was like chicken dip when you get it, and it's the right hot.
Yes.
Not too hot, but just hot enough where you're like, okay, this is. I know what I'm eating. I'm eating buffalo wing chicken
My
dip.
wife
Anyway,
makes it here, and it's good.
yeah, it just I don't know how they do it. I you know what I mean? Like they make it, and you're like, it seems easy enough, but then when you start like watching them prep it, it looks like it's a pain in the balls. So it's like it is a boo. It is a big boo. But what is not a boo this week
Oh,
is
you're my boo.
31 in 31. I am having a blast with this. I am 8 in. It is October 8th as we do this show. I am 8 in. I'm gonna go through them right now. That way, if people want to get a gauge, and I know Jerry, are you doing it? You're doing it too with me, right?
I am. I'm behind a little bit, but
That's okay. That's okay. You can catch up.
I believe there's an 8 is enough.
I've got about 4 in.
I hate you so
Behind.
much, guys. I hate you so much sometimes. Okay, so
Well,
I started.
believe that was a pop culture reference. I am relevant here.
What were you trying to do? Say it
I don't
again. I'm angry. Go ahead. Say it again. I'm sorry. It was probably very funny, Kyle. Go ahead. Do it.
I believe that was a pop culture reference at one
Eight
point.
is enough?
8 is enough. So
you're
it is
talking
relevant.
like you're talking like fucking 8 is enough from like the 70s.
The TV
I
show.
mean,
Is that what you're going with?
you're doing a redux on a show from the 50s, so I mean, the 70s is at least sooner.
Show from the 60s, please get it right. Just
Okay.
anyway.
Still before
Anyway.
the 70s, so.
I don't care. JW 31 and 31. I'm on fire. I feel great. I started with Dark Knight of the Scarecrow. You said you didn't like it, Kyle.
No.
It's a great movie.
Well, you're not a
Really
horror movie guy, really, but
All I saw was a bunch of people hunting Lenny from Of Mice and Men.
Yes.
That's what it reminded me of.
Yes.
And it was just,
Yes.
I know, but
That's
it's
what it's
just,
supposed to remind you of.
it's so
What
sad
about the
and
ending?
pathetic.
The ending of it is a banger, though, Kyle. The ending is great. You don't know if it's really the Scarecrow or not. If you don't know if it's him, and then he hands her the little posy, and that's the end. It's great, fantastic. Okay, I dipped in. I've been watching some new stuff to go along with old stuff I don't remember or haven't watched. So I saw the TV Glow. This is
It reminds me of a certain candidate's rallies.
that movie is weird.
I saw the TV Glow. Yes, right.
Weird.
I realize it's not for me, right? But I also I was trying, again, I think it's amazingly well done. It is enough wasn't a horror. Family was a nightmare. Excellent. But I think I saw the TV Glow is really well done. I don't know, Jerry. I'm going to say this without any not being dumb. I don't know that I get it, but I did understand.
I was just going to say that. That's a movie you can watch all the way through, and you're like,
I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Like, the guy's a grown up. He's a grown up, but he's still like a pansy. I don't get it.
When he reaches in, he has the disc in his chest and stuff, like video drum. But what I did get about it, what I did like about it, it is a very much a movie that is about falling in love with a TV show or something, and the show, a show that you may watch in the past that you may all of a sudden watch now, and it's not as nearly as good, or it's been nostalgia bombed in your head, right? That's kind of what the movie's about. Really good. This one fucking rocked. Oddity, fantastic, amazing, really well done. Basic story goes like this: two sisters, one sister gets murdered, one sister's blind, and she runs an oddity store that also happens to be, for fans of maybe of the show, basically the store from Friday the 13th, the series. Everything in her store is fucking haunted. Everything. And she's,
what platform did you watch it on?
Oddity is on Hulu, I believe.
Okay.
And it was really good. It was one of those movies where I knew what was going on. I knew, but it all comes together so well. So basically, the sister gets murdered, and then the other sister who's blind goes to the house where the sister was murdered and confronts her ex-stepbrother, her ex-brother-in-law, I should say, her ex-brother-in-law, and the new girl. And, it's smart, it's fast. It's only like an hour and 30 minutes.
Shit.
The fucking doll is creepy as fuck. You see it in the poster here. It is creepy as hell. And then it has a banger ending. Like better. Like when I say a banger ending, it's an ending that hits you right in the gut, and it's such a good ending. Because everything, Oddity was just great. I saw the TV Glow. I saw the TV Glows on Max. Absolutely. So Oddity was fantastic. I can't recommend it enough. Great performances, really well done. Creepy as fuck. Good stuff going on there. And just a little bit, you know what movie it reminded me of, Jerry? It reminded me a little bit of Barbarian, where it starts off one way and it goes another way, and you don't know when it changes up.
Right,
you know what I mean? Like the moment when it changes up, you're like, holy fuck. Okay. 4, Salem's Lot. Really annoyed Kay is already canceled by Netflix. What the fuck? I was gonna get to it tonight, Raven. You got ahead of me. Salem's Lot's 4, fourth movie of the year, fourth movie of October. Not great, but not bad. Pretty cool vampire stuff going on. Distinctive changes from the original and from the book. Really distinctive changes. Also, one of the changes I think is actually better, because I actually think the sequence in the drive-in is fantastic. It's great. And it's unique and it's original and it's cool as fuck. But it is nowhere near what the original book was, and it's nowhere near what the original Salem's Lot was. Now, the problem with this is that this is a movie made by Max, so David Zaslav is in control of it. So we don't get a release to theaters, where instead of something else that bombed this weekend, where if they had released this to theaters, would have done very well in Halloween time. But the other thing is, they release it to streaming, and get this, there was an original director's cut that was 3 hours long. So Gary Doberman, who's the director, gets told by the Warner Brothers executives, we need to cut it. It needs to be under 2 hours.
That's a lot to cut.
That's a lot to fucking cut, right?
Jesus.
Okay. So they cut an hour from the movie because it clocks in an hour and 53 minutes.
Probably the good stuff.
They cut an hour from the movie. So here's the problem. One of the interesting things about the original Salem's Lot was you get a bit of the town before things start to happen, right? So why is this town dying from the inside? Why is Barlow able to take it over? Why are all these people, already dead before he comes, right? We don't get any of that. So it's this really weird thing. And my question is, if you're going to put it on streaming, why the fuck would you cut it?
Yeah, what difference does it make?
What does difference make? If it's 3 hours on streaming, people will walk away and do whatever the fuck they're doing anyway.
Leak anytime you want, your own home.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so they made the guy cut it, and now it's not as good as it could have been. Although I really enjoyed the vampire stuff. Like, the vampire stuff is fun. They do a thing with the cross. Every time somebody gets near, a vampire gets near, and somebody believes in God, their crosses light up, and it's cool as fuck. It's a great look, right? It's also super cool because what'll happen is it's like, the scene in E.T. where the light goes on underneath the blanket. You can see it, and it's amazing.
Yep.
It's a little bit like that because when people are walking around, they have the crosses, and then if a vampire gets near and you don't see it on screen, and they don't see it, the light goes on, and they kind of like, and so it's fun. I liked it. But I would have liked the 3 hour cut. Because I guess one of the things that they cut was that, and it kind of plays out in the movie, but basically the teacher brings up vampires really quick. And everybody kind of just goes, yup, it's vampires. You know what I mean? I have to wonder if it's because of the transbastion. I hope they shop it. This is a Netflix issue. They cancel everything early. They cancel the 90s show too. Sorry, I rushed JW. And brain's medically foggy, ADHD kicking something awful. Yeah, no worries. We'll talk about Chaos in a moment. It's a pretty good show. I like Christine in the garage at the beginning.
You're going to have to watch it again now, aren't you?
Oh, the car. Okay, I understand now. I'm like, I thought he was talking about a character. The car. Yeah, great, great little aside. Fantastic. But it's one of those things where it's like it could have been so much better. Although I did have fun, and I do think the drive-in climax is pretty cool. Okay, 5. Let's talk
Climax is
about
always good.
5. Let's talk about 5. Creep is available on Netflix. This is a movie from 2014.
I might have
It
seen
is.
that. Sounds
Oh my god, it's fantastic. It's a found footage movie. It's Mark Duplass, who's in a lot of things, and basically the plot goes something like this: a serial killer puts a wanted ad in like Craigslist or whatever before whatever, and basically says, "I need a videographer for 8 hours, $1,000 to film my life." So people come and
sounds familiar.
and they pay the money. And basically, what it is he basically is roping people into uncomfortableness, awkwardness, and eventually death because he's going to kill them. So this movie is fantastic. It's well done. It's unnerving, and it's just really creepy. And it like after you see it, I heard they cut the vampire's parents getting shot in the alley. 35 minutes gone. Okay.
Sounds a little like Man Bites Dog.
That sounds a little bit like. Yes.
Kinda. Remember that movie?
It's a very much like Man Bites Dog, but it's not that they get involved. Like he lies to them at every turn. It basically in the first one, when the guy gets there, he tells him have you ever seen my life? I have cancer and my wife is pregnant with our first child. And I want to do a day in my life so that so the baby can see what I'm all about. And it's a great, like, it becomes creepier and weirder. And like, he takes a bath with the guy watching him. And it's like, and he's like, he's moving like he has the baby because he will never get the first bath with the baby. And then, like weird shit starts to come out. There's a mask called Peach Fuzz that has to be discussed. It's fantastic. It is a creepy fucking werewolf mask, and it fucking creepy, and it just keeps on getting the movie just keeps on getting creepier and creepier. We'll get back to that. It's What's Inside. It was number 6. This is also on Netflix. This was amazing. Again, not made for me because it's a younger generation of horror filmmakers. So the tagline, "Nobody is leaving the same as they came." A person is at a wedding. They invites all of the old college friends, including the one who's a Zuckerberg type mad genius. He comes in and he said, he's famous in their college days for playing games like Mafia and Werewolf and all the games we play drunkenly at games. And he says, but I've created something where it allows you to jump in other people's bodies. So basically, he hooks up a bunch of electrodes to people's brains, and it happens, and then they're playing rounds, and it just gets, crazier and fucking, all the bad intentions people had. Now they're in the bodies of the people that they hated. Like, it's really well done, and it's very hip, and it's very funny, and it's a little smutty, and it's good though, really good. I can't even I wasn't expecting it. Sorry, that's the wrong poster. I wasn't expecting it to be so good, but it ends up being really great. And then again, a great ending that leaves room for many sequels. So that's 6, 7. Creep 2. Never saw it. It was right on Netflix. It came right up in my queue. I wanted to put a movie between it, but this one's even better than the first one because basically the person that he invites is somebody that's running a podcast about bad encounters with people, and it just careens out of control. The first one is unnerving and crazy. This one is crazy because the person he's inviting ends up being as crazy as him. So it's fun. Like, it's just like they're he's like, he comes downstairs and he's, you know, all the things that he's done to other people you've seen in the other movie, he does to her, and she doesn't give a fuck. She doesn't care. She's just trying to get a good thing for her podcast. You know, we'd love to have a buzzer button to randomly shock our host, laugh out loud. I think she's talking about Kyle. I don't know. I would hope she wouldn't shock me. Laugh out loud. Jerry's eyes. But anyway, so that movie is fantastic. And then I found out that Shudder, in 2 weeks, they're doing a show with Mark Duplass, and it's called The Creep Tapes. And basically, in the movie, you see he has a wall of just all these videos with names on it. And so they're doing a show on Shudder where they're going to do one victim a week. And I'm just like,
VHS or beta?
He has both.
They should do laser discs.
He has both, and the first movie is from 2014, 2017, around there, and it has fucking discs. So he's stalking people with the disc. It's great. It's I can't even tell you how great it is, especially if you love any mumblecore movies. But it's also
'cause I'm a creep.
Yes. And then today's 8th movie, I just got done with it. It's on Hulu. It is called The Angry Black Girl and Her Monster. Look at the review up top. Slick, brutal, embracing. Yes. It is a first movie. The tagline is also "Death can be cured." Why so you think you're safe, JW? Yes, I should be okay. We have a generator.
No.
We have a generator.
No. She's talking about from the shock button.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I would think I would be.
You're about to
safe.
get fucking lit up like a serial killer.
I think Raven. Most of the time, I don't see anything. I think
It's alive.
Kyle, you're getting the gist of it. But I want to talk about this Angry Black Girl. It's on Hulu. So if you have Disney, you can watch it. It is a fantastic modern Prometheus movie. She's a gifted African American urban girl who sees drug deals in her neighborhood, kids getting shot accidentally, her mother gets shot accidentally. Did you watch on Tubi? Don't Fuck in the Woods. No.
I saw that.
Haven't gotten there. Maybe I'll add it to the list. But this movie is great. She brings back her brother who was killed in a drug deal. And so it intertwined with the modern Prometheus tale. It has an urban kind of setting to it where she's watching all this death around her, and she comes up with the concept that I can cure death. I can fix it. Because everybody around her is, yeah, well, she brings her brother back who's this monstrous, huge kid, and he just goes on a fucking terror rampage.
Like Dr. Herbert West.
Yes, it is great. And it's really sharp. It's really well written. She's a great character. She's very smart, but also, do you know when you love a Frankenstein movie, right, Jerry, when they get that glint in their eye, when they get the glint in their eye when somebody's like talking, well, we just lost that person. Can we bring them back? And they get that glint, like, the God complex that she has it. The kid, it's a great movie. So we're 8 in. I will keep everybody abreast of the rest of them. We're 8 in. Pay attention, JW.
I heard breasts.
Well, this is where we take a downturn for a couple minutes. This movie fucking sucked. This movie was terrible.
Why so serious?
I've been seeing things like people are calling it a musical or something.
It is it was always a musical, but now it's a $200 million flop of epic proportions. I can't even put into word. Well, it's a bad movie. That's first. It's definitely a bad movie.
Came a long way since Space Camp.
But now this movie cost $200 million to make. Do you know when somebody says, and I say this to you both, interestingly enough, what the fuck? Need for reprise. What the fuck? You know when somebody says that movie looks at, they spent $100 million on that movie and it looks like it. This movie is the opposite. They spent $200 million and it's fucking bleak. Like it looks bleak, it acts bleak, it's dead on arrival, it's not good. And it only grossed $37 million. To put that in perspective, in 2019, when the original Joker opened, it had $39 million in on Friday. You know what I mean? Like this is a
Jokes on them,
huh? And now everybody, what the most interesting thing,
Vaslov?
well, that's the most interesting thing coming out of here is everybody's trying to cover their asses, and everybody, like, there have been stories in every Hollywood art, like inside the Joker folie à deux debacle variety. Todd Phillips wanted nothing to do with DC on the $200 million misfire. So Todd Phillips is getting blamed for everything. I actually think my theory on the movie is, I reviewed it with Rich on Friday. My theory on the movie is Todd Phillips, I would say it's a gorgeous take on musical history. A lot of Fosse nods, but that doesn't save it. And the link to Heath Ledger Joker is just bad. Is it the Heath Ledger Joker? I don't know that it is. Also, with regards to, it's already on my pirate stick, it's bad. What I would say to you, Raven, is there's a lot of nods to musicals and there's a lot of nods to musical history. Correct. But there isn't one musical that he takes and runs with, which is different from what he did with Joker, which was essentially the king of comedy in Gotham, right? So we had a movie we could
pronunciate.
So
about 14 years ago, there's a movie about a girl in the city protected by Jason and other monsters can't find it. Wow, I don't know. Protected by Jason?
So how bad is it? Like, is it like Exorcist and Exorcist 2 Distance bad?
Oh, it's worse than that. It's
like pretty bad.
Because okay, so here's the thing. Like, I actually think it may be my theory on it is that Todd Phillips decided that all the people who loved the first one, the incel guys, the weird guys that came out of it going, that movie, I loved every minute of it. It was amazing. He was a bad guy down on his luck who couldn't get a fucking date, and then he became the Joker. It was incredible. I think Todd Phillips looked at all those things, making it a $1 billion movie, and a lot of me thinks that he just went, no, you guys were wrong. You didn't get the movie. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the character, like, because at the end, remember, he becomes the Joker. It goes up, he kills a guy in television. Everything's fantastic. He's the Joker we've come to know and love. He goes down the stairs, all those things, right? This movie immediately takes him right back, puts him in prison. He's a schlep. If Joaquin Phoenix looks like he needs a ham sandwich, like he's just brittle bones. It looks like he could fall on the floor and break. And he's carrying his piss. You know what I mean? Like it's immediately putting him back into this place where he's so weak that it's ridiculous. And then Gaga shows up and she's, she falls madly in love with him. And then they pull the rug out of that too. So, she's not actually in love with him. She's just kind of using him so that she could become famous too.
Clout.
As opposed to, like, the real Harley that we've seen is really in love with the Joker.
Gaga's
right? So it's just it's weird all around. Then Gaga's heinously misused. She doesn't get, I wasn't a fan of the first one, it was just a play, but the sequel just seemed excessive. It's bad. It's miserable. It's a slog. The words I used on Friday: miserable, slog, joyless. That's the thing, Raven. You were talking. I wasn't, but you were talking about musical history. He does have a working knowledge of musical history. Umbrellas of Cherbourg. There's a sequence where the camera pans over the umbrellas of the guards, and they're all different colors, Jerry. You know what I mean? So it's moderately brilliant, right? And then you're like, oh, maybe it'll pick up. And then what he doesn't have a grasp on is that musicals need to be joyous. All right, Kyle, when are we going to see it?
Like Clockwork Orange.
there still needs to be joy, even if you're doing something against the grain with a music.
Right. Well, Clockwork Orange is dark, but you know.
I'm
It's bad.
singing in the rain.
Yes, exactly.
What are we gonna see, Kyle? Oh, when are we gonna see it?
When are we
You're
going to go
gonna
see Joker?
You better fucking hurry, unless you have Max. It's not gonna be in theaters long. It's not. It's just not. And it's
Well,
just
what's
it's
coming out that's really going to push it out? Like, seriously.
Like video jail.
What's gonna push it out? Okay, let's take a look.
I think that's a fair question because there's not much.
Okay. Well,
until
it's not a
Thanksgiving,
matter.
I think
It
we're
may not
excited
be a
for.
movie, Kyle. It may not be a movie pushing it out. I'll give you an example. Wild Robot did 18 million this week. Beetlejuice did another 12 million. So and Beetlejuice is going streaming this week.
Maybe it'll be that new Rob Zombie movie.
Oh Jesus fucking Christ!
I have to throw it in.
Say it 2 more times and she'll appear.
Stop, please. You're killing me. Hold on.
Ooh, Sherry Moon.
Stop, please.
She's going to play Jaws in the remake.
All right, let's see here.
Give me a second. I'm working
things
on
going, but I'm looking at movies too here, buddy. So, chat, I'm not ignoring you. I'm just ignoring you.
Okay, well, Terrifier 3 is gonna take some screens. You got the Saturday night movie coming. You got, let's see, piece by piece
the re-release of Nightmare Before Christmas.
Re-release of Nightmare Before Christmas. That's a good one. Let's see. Hold on. Piece by piece, right? Woman of the Hour is getting a minor release. So Saturday night. Let's see.
I really don't see much though till October 25th when Venom bombs.
I don't know if Venom's gonna bomb.
Once a season, they should re-release an old movie. That'd be kind of nice.
They do. Yes, we have Max. We have every station known to man.
Some places do.
Unfortunately,
I think the thing they should film Going Sane Joker thinks Batman is dead and starts a normal life. No, that sounds. It's not as bad as this movie because no movie can be as bad as this movie.
I still want to see where Bruce Wayne's in the mental institution and his doctor's name is Joe Carr.
Dr.
It's all just a big hallucination.
Okay, well, so this is a place where DC is misfired. I can't see it holding on to its screens. I can't see it's going to play to empty theaters. Megalopolis was out of theaters in a week. This is going to be out of theaters in a week.
Sure.
Here's something where DC has gone fine. There's a Don't Fuck in the Woods 2. Haven't seen it. Good job, buddy. Jerry, are you okay? What's going on? Here's a place where
revisiting some old school jokes.
Here's a DC thing that's gone right. Penguin. Amazing. Episode 3. Really good. They're building to a
Monster Summer looks cute.
Monster Summer is pretty much come and gone already. If you look at the numbers,
like Monster Autumn now,
the website I use for box office tracking,
it's like Dad Bod Summer. It's already gone.
It's already done. Like it's already been released way more than it should have been, and it's Monster Summer. Where did it? It didn't even hit this weekend. And it's playing. So yeah, Joker's just dying on the vine. Joker had a tough time out grossing the Wild Robot today. So or yesterday, I should say.
Smile 2. Smile 2 while you don't fuck in the woods too.
Actually, you know what? thinking about it, Venom is going to do well. Smile 2 is going to do well because the original Smile was good. There are movies that are going to completely take its screens and completely take all the big, whatever. Kyle not watching either Marvel or DC, JW. We can't talk about Penguin or Agatha. Shaking my head.
I
Bullshit.
never said you couldn't talk about it. I just said I was waiting to binge them all when they
Penguin's
drop.
really great. Penguin's fantastic. I will say this week's Agatha was also pretty great. I don't know where they're headed, although we've now mentioned Mephisto twice, 2 consecutive episodes in a row.
Has Agatha got into the filler episode that's not needed and they could have cut it to 5 yet?
No,
according to a certain host you used to have?
There's only 6 episodes, I think. There's only 6 episodes. So it's not.
It can only be 1.
They're not fucking around.
You'll get Mephisto.
I think there's only there might be 8, but I think there's 6. Smile was very good. Smile was fantastic. One of the better horror films released. My 2 favorite in the last couple of years were Smile and Barbarian. If you haven't seen Barbarian yet, everybody should watch Barbarian at least once, just to realize how tricked you can be watching a movie. And then also,
I looked under the loincloth and I saw the Barbarian's true smile.
Smile 2, the other set of lips. All right. Okay, we don't need that. But moving on. Ooh, Smile was good. Yeah, I think Smile 2 will do fine. I think Venom's going to do well because it's the last one. Up until the point where, we see an end credit sequence with Tom Hardy and Tom Holland, and somehow this Venom is now a part of the MCU. I'm not doing anything tomorrow, Missy. I'm going to be watching old movies on streaming somewhere. I think tomorrow's movie is going to be Talk to Me, I think. So, just a preview of where that's headed. But Agatha was really good. Agatha's playing to all the strengths it has.
Isn't it a really good hurricane movie you could watch?
A horror hurricane movie? I mean,
Sharknado.
The only hurricane movie that I had a horror kind of thing going. There's a movie called Crawl that came out about 2 years ago.
Yeah,
really good.
Really
good. Really good alligator movie. It's produced by Sam Raimi. Very well done. I think Theo Rossi character might be Dr. Yes! Raven, yes! Yes! Raven knows. I said this last week, Raven. I said it. Yes. I said it last week. I think he's Dr. Hugo Strange. I'm going to go on record right now saying I think he's Hugo. The only problem with Penguin thus far that I see is that Gotham is in this bleak time frame after the no man's land has been mentioned, so it's this bleak time for Gotham, and Batman is nowhere to be found, even though the shit's going on. Agatha got screwed by Funko. Rio is death. Yeah, she's the Green Witch, and she's also death. It's okay. It's okay. We kind of knew she was death. Because the only person that Agatha's ever had a relationship in the comics was Death. So there was something there. I feel that all national disaster movies have a base in horror. Yeah, that's true. But for the most part, the only one that has a hurricane as its central theme is recently was Crawl. Because basically there's a hurricane and everybody gets out of the hurricane area, but the girl's dad can't. And he happens to live next to what is basically Gatorland, and all the fucking alligators escape, and they make a nest in his house. You think the Bliss mushroom drug is from Hugo as well? Ooh, dark, maybe. Now we're giving a lot of spoilers, but they're both great. Like, they're both excellent shows. I don't know where Agatha's going, but I do. Mephisto being mentioned twice is something. I truly don't know if there's going to be another horror movie that I will watch this season that has mentally traumatized me as much as The Substance. I've heard good things about The Substance, and the moment The Substance, it's already out of my theaters, unfortunately, and also I won't be able to do anything for the next 2 days before it leaves the one last theater that it's in down here. Thanos would be jealous, dude. That's his girl. Yep. All true statements. But yeah, I mean, these are good movies. You know, good shows. They're grown in Arkham bags. Yeah, it's not great. It's Bliss is not. But that's my question, Raven. Velvet alligators are more horrific than a hurricane. Just saying. Yes, but
You didn't say it
alligators
3 times.
alligators in a hurricane are even more alligators are more horrific than a hurricane, except if you have alligators in a hurricane. Then the hurricane not being able to get medical assistance or escape because of the water, not great. And that's Crawl's a great movie. If you haven't seen Crawl, you would agree, Jerry? It's really it's a really well done. It's no alligator. Don't get me wrong. It's no alligator. Nothing
Alligator was amazing.
Nothing can ever be alligator. John Sayles, such a good movie. But Crawl's pretty good, and I think they're making a Crawl too. I don't know how we're gonna have like maybe another hurricane, and her dad's stupid. Fair in short, fuck alligators. Okay, awesome. Good to see you, Velvet. You haven't been here in a while. Flying alligators, no thank you. I'll pass.
Alligator NATO.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, I think Agatha and
That's
Penguin.
how we got Chubb's hand.
Crocnado.
I think Agatha and Penguin are heading in the right direction. I think you got a movie idea, JW. Maybe. I don't know. I don't want to talk about any movie ideas about hurricanes and alligators in the next 3 days. I don't want to have anything to base that on. If you
Speak it into existence, brother.
Let's not. We have two young nephews in the house. Let's not get crazy. But okay. A couple things little things we need to take charge of and talk about really quick. Here's speaking of movie ideas where this is happening. I had an awesome development meeting with actor John Dugan, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Harlow's Haunt movie, and more, and writer-director Terry Joe from Black Dog Films. Pay attention. We're making a movie. Very excited about the next Harlow movie going in a new, different direction. 2025 is going to be amazing. Jerry, I was bringing you a copy of this movie to watch. I was in my bag, ready to go. Just saying hi. I'm not enough of a sinner to keep up with you guys. You don't have to be. You can. We're doing all kinds of cool horror films that you might like. Night of the Scarecrow, if you're getting here late. I saw the TV Glow. I think you'll really be interested in. Oddity, really good. Super cool. Salem's Lot, fun but not great. Creep, excellent. Found footage. It's What's Inside. Smutty, fun, psychotic, sci-fi horror film, body horror movie. Creep 2, excellent. Found footage. And then this, The Angry Black Girl with her and her monster, is a movie I think you would definitely like. What's that ticking sound, Captain? Oh. He's a crocodile, though. He's not an alligator. Is he a crocodile? I don't know. The croc. He's a croc.
What a croc.
That's how I feel about getting out of Florida today. Stephen King is always a pass for me. His endings are painful.
Like The Mist?
Not Salem's Lot, though. Salem's Lot ends on a high... Salem's Lot ends with the town dying and basically they're Ben and the kid going and fighting, Ben and Mark going and fighting vampires all over the world. So it's kind of a cool ending. Although I would say, you can watch both of them. I don't understand the concept, Jerry. If you need 3 hours to tell a story and the director says I filmed 3 hours and then they say we're not going to release the theaters, I don't understand the concept of just making it 3 hours.
Like a big part of a story missing.
What it is for me is always, it's the chunk. The chunk of the original movie is when Ben shows up in town and all the people are kind of assholes.
Chunk!
I hate you. We have interesting things to talk about, and you're like, you get on these rants, you take a drink, you're like, oh no, I watched. Do you know what I watched that I thought about you the other day? I sent it to my cousin. I should have sent it to you. Just the Paul Bearer going through a video section at Blockbuster, picking out his favorite movies. Hilarious. Ooh, Dead and Buried. It's one of my favorites.
It's a good movie.
even Stephen King has said his endings are shit. Yeah, no, I know.
Undertaker, I diddled your mother, and you got a brother named Kane now.
Kane.
Dead Buried's
Anyway,
a good movie though.
well, Dead and Buried is a fantastic movie. I again with the Salem's Lot, I don't know why they didn't just make it 3 hours, so you could tell the story. Because the whole point of the movie is Ben's got to get there, realize these people are fucked because they've given up on themselves. Mom saw it, said Salem's Lot 2 wasn't as crappy. Okay, it's not. I don't think it's a bad movie. It's just it feels rushed. Like I'll give you a more recent example.
Hey, my name is. I'm gonna kill you. They caught
well, no, but that's what happened. Like it's like one kid has an anemic reaction to something, and it's the kid who gets bit, right? And then he has an anemic reaction. They're like, "Oh, vampire, definitely vampire." It's like could be anemia. Like I'm just spitballing here. Somebody who has anemia, to immediately jump to whatever. But and like I said, without any of that thing where you get that the town is dying from the inside out, the rot is from the inside out, and that Barlow is there to take over because he can take over. Of course, he's executive producer on all of his stuff. Like, there's only 1 or 2 movies where he's completely kind of pushed them away. But yeah, he gets, none of the past stuff makes it in. So it's, Ben's there, he's writing a book, starts digging around, and then vampires. And it just, I don't know. I don't understand the concept if you're making a movie and you're not going to release it. If it has to be in theaters, hour and a half, hour 45 minutes, hour 50, great. But if it's something where it's not, you don't need it, and people are just going to watch in their fucking house, there's no reason to do that. Like a movie, I'll give you an example. It had 2 parts because it's too long to film as one. You know what I mean? So, they understood for it, but they didn't understand for this. I don't get it. Correction, never watched Return to Salem's Lot. Yeah, Return to Salem's Lot's not good. Also, there was another Salem's Lot television movie with Rob Lowe that isn't great.
I remember that one too.
It's okay. It was in 2004. Okay, but it's not good.
Sometimes they come back with better.
Well, yeah. Sometimes they come back was better, actually. Okay. Kyle, what do you got going on? What do you got going on in Funko World? Bill Sadler is fantastic. It does have Bill Sadler. Joe, did you like it? I didn't. I'm not saying I hate it. I just think Bill Sadler is one of the good things about the movie, and he sets things up. He does set things up for the idea that it's decay and rot. Bill Sadler is quite good. He's in a lot of Stephen King adaptations. Played Death, but Bill Sadler. Kyle,
I had someone tell me today that being gay is a mental illness, which I had so much fun with them after that. But because of them, I got the Pride series of droids from Star Wars, of BB-8 and R2-D2. Nice. Yes, I had to today because
mental illness, huh? Okay.
Yeah, because
okay.
I guess they're reading 1940s medical journals.
Well,
but whatever.
Mental illness is an interesting way of looking at it, or that people were just born that way, and we should just mind your own fucking business. But again, that's just me. Again, I'll go back to last week when we were talking about Will and Harper. What is somebody else being happy? How does it make me unhappy? What did Kyle get at Renfest?
If you want that person's happiness.
I'm not sure what the answer to this is.
Jerry, that's close. That's close. I mean, every third person caught in a stall is a Republican senator. You know what I mean? Homosexual was removed from the DSM in 1973, as it should have.
I know. Trust me, I know. But yeah.
Velvet's just flexing that muscle, like show off my adipose. My adipose got me. Woo.
That's downstairs. I don't have that up here.
Okay, so we can't get that. You did go to a Ren Fair. How was Ren Fair?
Oh, they made the mistake of pulling me up on stage for one of the shows that wasn't rated, and was told not to bring your kids to, and I proceeded to.
See, I make that mistake
way
every
too
week,
much
and
fun.
Joe says I can't fire you.
I know. But to the point where even people in the audience were leaning into my wife and saying, "Hey, he's pretty funny." Unlike you, you just go, "I fucking hate you." But I mean, other people think I'm funny, so fuck you.
I'm happy that a bunch of randos at a Ren Fair think you're funny.
I handed out our cards to all of them.
Awesome. That helps. That always helps, my friend. But so you had a good time at the Ren Fair then?
Always.
Excellent.
Always.
Well, Kyle, we're going to start with Jerry. It came from Jerry's basement because we're right in that wheelhouse. Fucking leaves. Who's to do the comments?
And it dies again. There it is.
Okay. It came from Jerry's basement. Jerry, what movie do you have tonight for us? For people who might be hanging out in, I don't know, Pennsylvania wilderness, which is what I should have been doing this week.
Right?
Yeah.
True.
What do you got, Jerry?
You do know the last week in September, the weather was picture perfect in both Florida and Pennsylvania.
And I lost
I heard it. You said midnight, right?
Oh, well, my screen's all messed up. Midnight, John Russo movie. Tom Savini special effects. Lawrence Tierney is in it. It's a girl that Lawrence Tierney is like.
I'm going to be honest. I've never seen this, and the moment I read the definition of it, I was like, I definitely want to see this. You know what I mean?
Lawrence Tierney is an abusive stepdad, basically, and she runs away from home. She hitches a ride with a couple guys. They end up camping out in the woods, and they camp out in the wrong place, and they all get accosted, and there's some satanic stuff that goes on with this family, and it goes from there.
Yeah, and so Savini does the special effects. It's from 1982. It's about an hour and 30 minutes. Where can people? Hour and 30.
This is on YouTube.
It's on YouTube.
Yep.
And then one of the things that needs to be said, there was a lot of stuff. Copies of the movie were picked up under the Obscene Publications Act of 1959 in England. So, and then the movie was released in 1985 under the alternate title, The Blackwoods Massacre. Or The Backwoods Massacre, I should say.
Backwoods Massacre.
Yeah, so Lawrence Tierney, people may know him from
Reservoir Dogs.
The Reservoir Dogs is the movie where most people know, but he had, in the 80s, he was in a lot of, he's in The Prowler, he's in Midnight, he's in Silver Bullet.
Yep.
Right? He's in House 3. He's in Naked Gun. Like, he's in all of these movies that you would recognize. Reservoir Dogs. He's, of course, the person that gives them all the color nicknames.
Cough up a bucket, cheap bastard.
Cough up a bucket, cheap bastard. I got a tip for learn how to fucking type.
Right.
But yeah, this is a picture from the movie.
I got another guy in another job who's Mr. Black.
I don't think we get enough satanic cult movies, Jerry. I think there's
Race with the Devil's another good one.
There's the movie that I would like, a recent one that was really good. That
Devil's Reign.
The House of the Devil.
House of the Devil. Right.
It's basically it's a perfect storm of satanic cult stuff. Plus, it's got the whole babysitter with the kids thing going on. Like, it's really a well done movie, and it's by the guy who's done Pearl and Maxine and X. So really fun movie there. But Midnight available on YouTube. Check it out. We will now jump into the Twilight Zone Redux. Again, part of my favorite part of the week. This week's episode is called The Chaser. Tell me this isn't fucking ridiculously early 60s. Mr. Roger Shackelforth, age youthful 20s. Occupation being in love, not just in love, but madly, passionately, illogically, miserably, all-consumingly in love with a young woman named Layla, who has a vague recollection of his face and even less than a passing interest. In a moment, you'll see a switch, because Mr. Roger Shackelford, the young gentleman so much in love, will take a short but meaningful journey into the Twilight Zone. So what is the Chaser of title, Jerry? It's a Mickey. I'm out. Fine, safe, JW. The world's a cool place when you're in it.
He wants the girl of his dreams to fall in love with him.
Thank you, Velvet. I appreciate you. And I'll be thinking of you as well, and hopefully I'll make it through. Lair of the White, another great movie. But yeah, he wants the girl of his dreams to be in love with him as much as he's in love with her. So what do we do in that case? We don't try to actually be a good person. No, in the Twilight Zone,
he's got to force it.
We got to force it. Stranger hands him a business card. The professor is A. Damon, who can help with any problem. Roger visits Mr. Damon, who, after some resistance and suggestion that Roger will regret, sells him a love potion for $1. A trading place bet dollar love potion. Roger, of course, puts a Mickey into Layla's glass of champagne, and she falls madly in love with him and marries him. But soon after, becomes stifling. It is, of course, the love story in the Twilight Zone, and this is before any other movies have ever been made with this. The girl becomes so attached, so in love, so whatever, that she becomes a burden.
Blanketing him.
Yes, she
blankets. I'll rub your feet. What's the matter, darling? I like kneeling before you.
Roger returns to the professor, of course, and says, I need to buy poison for 1,000, which is all of Roger's money. So he sells
the interesting thing is he offered him that in the beginning. He's like, what's that? This one's $1,000. But I'm going to sell you this dollar one. Right? But he does tell him about the $1,000 one in the beginning, too. And he's like, $1,000, but this one's only $1. But
this one's only $1.
You'll be back.
Damon at the time also cautions Roger that the glove cleaner is odorless, tasteless, and completely undetectable, but must be used immediately and completely, or the user will lose his nerve and never again have the courage to try it. Roger leaves. Professor muses. First the stimulant, then the chaser. When he gets home, Roger, of course, decides he's going to kill his wife, Layla, and just he's about to give her the drink, she shows him that she's pregnant. Roger drops both glasses, and then basically, says I couldn't have gone through it and passes out.
They call it glove cleaning potion.
Yeah, glove cleaning potion. And then, so, the pictures, like, you'll recognize, I don't know if you recognize the gentleman in the movie. The gentleman in the movie, if you look really close, he's the father from Bachelor Party.
Okay.
George Grizzardi is the father from Bachelor Party. So, again, these actors show up everywhere. That's Mr. Damon. Right, A. Damon, who's played by the amazing John McIntyre, right? And all these episodes have all these great actors in them, and then they make these, full movies, things that become movies. You know what I mean? And there he is on the terrace at the end of the episode, Mr. Damon, blowing a smoke ring of a heart, and kind of puts a bow on it. And then we get the closing narration, Mr. Roger Shackelford, who has discovered that at this late date that love can be as sticky as a vat of molasses, as unpalatable as a hunk of spoiled yeast, and as all-consuming as a 6-alarm fire in a bamboo and canvas tent. Case history of a lover boy who should have never entered the Twilight Zone. Um, and this was originally produced on television as part of a theater thing, right? And basically, it's been turned since this episode. Short story's been adapted to Tales from the Crypt, Love to Death, which basically has Andrew McCarthy and Mariel Hemingway. And it's just so it not only frames the show being brilliant, but what it also does is that it, the sheer volume of things that are extrapolated out from it, right, is where we're getting fascination.
Oh yeah, you can tie a lot back.
That's what I mean. The most incredible thing is I feel like every episode's been watched. This is, of course, episode 31 of the show. It original air date was May 13th, 1960. So we're coming up on the end of the first season. Next week's journey into the Twilight Zone will be a passage for trumpet.
Isn't that the Jack Klugman one? Isn't he in that one?
I think he is. It is Jack Klugman as Joey Crown. So super cool. It's a musical episode that's also about life and death, right? So and that's the fascinating thing about the show is that these episodes and this show, it inspires things that you may not think about, but you watch them and you'll be like,
yeah, there it is.
There it fucking is. And they did it first, and they did it at time like they didn't talk about slipping Mickeys in people's drinks. I feel like it's a much later thing that we're worried about, people's drinks being laced with shit. But I guess they did it, but it's just not something that was on television. You know what I mean? But a good episode. Fantastic episode. And again, my happiness is that it's the father from Bachelor Party who's an absolute piece of trash in that movie. Okay, so Passage for Trumpet, Jack Klugman not on The Odd Couple coming next week. Kyle, come on back. Come on back, Kyle.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. That's the point of your redux. So many of our current hits can find.
I'm not a crook.
Or homages to the show, how things were shot, the makeup, the effects, the plot lines. Yeah, there are some unforgettable episodes. We haven't hit all of the unforgettable episodes, which is amazing to me.
Unforgettable.
We've hit a couple of them. And like I said, the whole point of the redux is to realize that you've seen it, and then somebody did it in the 60s. Like I said, think about the sheer volume of things the hoops they had to jump through in the 60s. People couldn't even sleep in the same beds on television. Husband and actual husbands and wives couldn't sleep in the same bed. You watch an episode of I Love Lucy, and two people who are actually married in real life can't be in the same bed. Think about the parameters of making a show that pushes all directions and also, does racial overtones well, does horror well. I can't get enough of it, and I'm so happy we're on this journey together, all of us. Even Kyle, who doesn't even want to participate, but I wish he did. Anyway,
maybe there's a Frankenstein episode coming up.
Maybe there'll be an episode where Kyle eventually cares. Maybe we'll get there. I don't know. Anyway, I do know something that Kyle does care about, and I wanted to bring it up and talk about it because we were talking about it a little bit. Funniest part of Refair at the Dirty Poets, a guy dressed as Jesus shows up. Is it that funny though? Because the Bible's filthy. The Bible is filthy as fuck, and people don't want to talk about it, but it is. There's dirty stories in the Bible. There's dirty, just like anything. But speaking of dirty stories, Kyle, tell us a little bit about this. Take your thing down. Tickets are $10. Buy at kirbycenter.org. Sunday, October 27th, 8 p.m. Kyle, tell us a little bit about one of your dream bookings. Talk to me.
like I said last week, it's a bucket list theater. I mean, Kirby's historic. Um, ever since I first walked into that theater, I've been trying to book a show there for 7 or 8 years, and I kind of rode off into the sunset saying I'm done from active performing without ever getting to do that one. And then the message came through, and we might have a couple of fun things planned that I'm working on for before, during, and whatever for the
Are you
show.
gonna have an
So come
idea
on
of how?
out.
Are you gonna have an idea of how sold out it is?
I'm gonna meet with them on Monday, so I'll find out then. But I have a lot of people telling me that they've gotten tickets. So
Well, I am super excited. We want to promote it um, as best we can. So I'm super proud, super happy for you. We'll keep promoting it through the rest of October. And Jerry, what do you got going on? Anything from Slapjaw going on?
No, just the new song released. Trying to get back in the studio again. We got a couple more to release, so
Excellent. And that's of course Slapjaw on TikTok. Is it still Slapjaw on TikTok?
Facebook, Instagram.
Excellent. Kyle.
hey, Jerry, I heard you're free this Saturday night, huh?
Now I am.
Let's talk later.
You can still go.
No, I know that. I was just going to
You know,
say that. I bet you I could still go there.
You
and
could definitely still go. They would be welcome with open
what's
arms.
up?
They
They're
would welcome-
cool dudes, though.
They're
Bunch of cool dudes,
super cool people.
for sure.
Okay, so my name is JW Colwell. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, Twitter, whatever the fuck the sociopath is calling it this week, X,
Right,
whatever.
right, that movie, too.
JW the Movie Guy on all those places. You can keep track of all of we're doing JW 31 and 31 on on Twitter and Facebook. Keep in touch. We also have the movie list there, so in case you want to jumpstart, get in on your own. Also, wait,
Yes, we got to zap Raven.
we're not zapping Raven. That's I don't agree
Why
with that
can't
at
we
all.
zap Raven?
I want
Hey,
to. I want
I
to
had
say
that movie. Scott Baio, Zapped. Remember that movie?
Zapped it. Is him and Adams,
Yes.
Louis Adams.
Yeah.
Get a zap button for Raven.
It
I
was
can't
a
get a
cut
zap
on.
button. We can't give you a zap button because then Kyle would be charged up. He'd be like, we need to actually get him bolts. But I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. I thank everybody for joining in on JW 31 and 31. I don't even know what's going on. He just got up and walked away.
Sounds like he's eating plastic.
Oh, you got bolts. Look, you're all bolted up. Look at you.
Poor
You're like-
man's Hellboy.
Anyway, I want to thank everybody for watching this week. We'll see everybody next week. And anybody, including Joe Ridgely, anybody in the path of Hurricane Milton, stay safe.
Joe's got a great picture up on his Facebook right now. 3 screens going. It's got the path of the hurricane. It's got us 3, and then he's got Harlow's haunt.
That's about right. But if you're in the path of the hurricane, stay safe. If they choose to have you evacuate, please. Don't be a hero. This one appears to be.
You keep us posted.
I will keep everybody posted in the Loud Nerdy group.
Joe too,
and Joe as well in the Indie Escape and Loud Nerdy group. Thank you for joining us tonight. Everybody have a safe weekend, and we'll see everybody next week. Bye. Watch some Halloween horror films. Bye.